I pastored this young lady who came from a very humble background, whose story I've never been able to forget. She entered university with just one dream: to graduate with a first class. Not because she wanted an applause, but because she knew that excellence is the only language poverty cannot argue. Then one examination day happened. In the middle of writing her paper, she was asked to leave the exam hall. Anybody who went to school in AE Funai will remember there was a time if you have not finished paying your school fees, you cannot be able to write exams. She was asked to leave the exam hall, not for malpractice, not because she wasn't prepared enough. She simply hadn't paid her school fees. A few minutes before the paper ended, they called her back in. She finished. When she finally paid her school fees and returned to have her courses uploaded, and when the result came out, she had C's in 3 major courses with heavy credit loads. 2 of her courses could no longer be processed because the lecturers could not find the papers. Those grades weren't measuring her intelligence. They were measuring what pressure had done to her. She had to write them as carryovers. Again, not because she failed, but because poverty keeps negotiating her down. Years later, she graduated with a 2.1 and a 4.0 CGPA. Anyone could call that a good result. But every time I think about her transcript, one thing breaks my heart. That result tells employers what she scored. It never tells them what she survived. It records her grades. It never records her resistance. It measures her performance. It never measures her friction. There is never a column in the transcript that includes that she was interrupted by unpaid school fees, that she wrote exams under emotional trauma, that she repeated courses because she could not register them on time, that she lost momentum because poverty kept changing the rules. And this is why some of the most extraordinary people in the world look painfully ordinary on paper. You judge their lives by their results. You will argue that there is anything meaningful about their lives. Someone somewhere will compare her to another graduate who never missed an exam because of school fees, whose courses were registered automatically, whose biggest concern was reading, while hers was surviving. Very many persons have lived one version of this reality or the other. They may not have been sent out of an exam hall, but they have a story where life quietly rewrote what their potential was supposed to look like. An entire category of people who nobody is talking about. People who are undeniably gifted, undeniably disciplined, undeniably hardworking. Yet they keep arriving later than everyone else because life keeps charging them for things others receive for free. I call it the friction tax. The friction tax is the invisible price some people pay simply because they were not born with any leverage. No influential surname, no wealthy connection, no wealthy family. Everything they thought has to be built from the scratch. You watch people in your industry explode in less than 12 months. But you've been working for 6 years and it still looks like you're introducing yourself. That kind of life can make you question your intelligence. Here's what people are not talking about. People don't begin life from the same altitude. Some people are climbing a staircase, while others are climbing a mountain, carrying their entire family on their backs. The distance may look the same, but the resistance are not. This is why I consider comparison an emotional abuse, because you are measuring 2 journeys with entirely different frictions. You know the painful parts. The world only celebrates speed. Nobody applauds resistance. Nobody sees the years you spent teaching yourself what other people inherited. Nobody sees the opportunities you never had. Nobody sees introductions that nobody made for you. All they see is your current position. But hear me carefully. Friction is not an evidence that you are failing. Sometimes friction is simply the proof that you are building without a borrowed momentum. One day, the very mountains that slowed you down will become the reason your strength cannot be questioned. I beg you, don't confuse delayed visibility with lack of destiny. Some people are moving faster. You are becoming stronger. Strength survives longer than speed. If you belong to this category, I am personally rooting for you and I'm personally praying for you. You will finally become every single thing that God has designed you to be, regardless of all the resistance. Share this video to everyone who can connect with this reality and encourage the heart of your friends and your brothers. God bless you.